Google Chrome has recently undergone a massive and silent transformation. Without a single notification, a pop-up window, or a request for explicit consent, Google has installed a 4 GB artificial intelligence model directly onto your computer. This is not a cloud-based service living on a distant server in a massive data center. This is a large, local file that now sits on your private hardware, claiming your storage space and using your local resources. The sheer scale of this deployment is unprecedented for a web browser, and the fact that it happened without most users ever realizing it marks a new chapter in the history of software updates. The technology behind this expansion is known as Gemini Nano. It is a scaled-down, highly efficient version of Google's most powerful large language model. While the tech industry has been obsessed with cloud-based artificial intelligence like ChatGPT or the standard Gemini interface, Google has decided that the next phase of the digital revolution must happen right inside your browser, offline and locally. Gemini Nano is designed to handle complex tasks like summarizing long web pages, writing emails, and organizing your tabs without ever needing to send your personal data to an external server. By bringing the brain of the AI directly to your machine, Google is trying to change the very nature of how we interact with the web. This silent deployment began in earnest with the release of Chrome version 127. If you have updated your browser recently, there is a very high probability that this model is already living on your hard drive. However, if you were to look for it in your applications, you would not find it under a folder labeled Artificial Intelligence. Instead, Google has tucked it away under a cryptic and technical name. Within the internal settings of the browser, it is listed as the Optimization Guide on Device Model. This name sounds intentionally boring, almost as if it was designed to be overlooked by anyone who was not looking for it specifically. For the average user, the term optimization guide means absolutely nothing. It sounds like a routine piece of background software designed to make the browser run a little more efficiently or perhaps manage memory better. But do not let the mundane name fool you. This is a sophisticated piece of neural network architecture that represents a fundamental shift in how we interact with our computers. This model is part of a larger push by Google to integrate their artificial intelligence directly into the core of their software ecosystem, making it an inseparable part of the browsing experience. This brings us to a significant core conflict that we must address. We are witnessing a clash between rapid technological advancement and the basic principle of user consent. For decades, our computers have been treated as our private digital property. We decide what software to install and how our storage space is used. However, by pushing a 4 GB file to millions of machines without asking, Google has bypassed that boundary. It feels like an invasion of digital private property. Even if the technology is ultimately beneficial, the method of its arrival raises serious questions about who really controls the devices we pay for. When a corporation can remotely occupy gigabytes of your storage for a feature you did not request, the concept of digital ownership begins to dissolve. If you are curious about whether your machine has already been chosen for this silent update, you can check it right now. You do not need to be a computer scientist to find it. Open your File Explorer and navigate to your local app data folder. From there, go to Google, then Chrome, then User Data. Inside a folder named Optimization Guide Prediction Models, you might find a subfolder that is roughly 4 GB in size. For many users, seeing that number for the first time is a genuine shock. It is a physical reminder that our browsers are no longer just windows to the web. They are becoming heavy, complex engines that live and breathe on our local hardware. To understand why Google is doing this, we have to look at the broader landscape of the tech industry. For the last several years, we have lived in the era of cloud-first artificial intelligence. Every time you asked a question or generated a summary, that request traveled across the world to a massive server farm, processed the information, and sent it back to you. This process is expensive, it can be slow, and it carries significant privacy risks because your data moves through the public internet. Now, we are moving into the era of edge AI. This means the processing happens on the edge of the network, which is your device. Google's official reasoning for this shift is logical on the surface. By running Gemini Nano locally, they can drastically reduce latency. Your browser can respond to your commands instantly because it does not have to wait for a server in another country to think. Furthermore, Google claims this is a massive win for privacy. If the model lives on your machine, your sensitive data never has to leave your computer to be processed. There is also a significant financial incentive for Google. Running massive artificial intelligence models on company servers costs an astronomical amount of money in electricity and hardware maintenance. By offloading that processing power to the millions of central processing units inside user laptops and desktops, Google effectively turns your computer into a tiny part of their global infrastructure. They are saving money by using your hardware and your electricity to power their new features. This leads to an important question that we must consider as we look toward the future. Are these privacy and speed benefits real, or are they just a convenient narrative used to justify stealthware tactics? When a company as powerful as Google decides to install massive files on your machine without telling you, we have to wonder where the line is drawn. Is this the start of a more helpful and private internet, or is it the beginning of a new era where we lose even more control over our own digital lives? Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you are watching from. The tension here is palpable. On one hand, having a powerful artificial intelligence living locally in your browser could be one of the most useful tools ever created. It could make us more productive and keep our data safer than ever before. On the other hand, the lack of transparency is a red flag. If Google can silently install 4 gigabytes of code today, what can they install tomorrow? As we move forward, we need to peel back the layers of this update to see what Gemini Nano is actually doing when you are browsing the web and how it might be watching what you do. This is not just a minor software update. It is a fundamental shift in the relationship between a user and their software. The technical reality of having Gemini Nano inside your browser is far more complex than a simple file download. This local model acts as the primary engine for several new features that Google is rolling out to transform your daily experience. One of the most prominent features is called Help Me Write. This is not just a basic spell checker or a collection of pre-written templates. Because Gemini Nano is a large language model, it can understand the deep context of what you are trying to convey. Whether you are writing a formal email to a landlord or a casual post for a social media site, the model analyzes the text you have already written and offers suggestions that match the tone and intent of your message. Because this processing is happening locally, the speed is nearly instantaneous. You are not waiting for a round trip to a massive server farm in another part of the country. The second major feature powered by this 4 gigabyte engine is the Smart Tab Organizer. For many users, keeping track of dozens of open tabs is a major source of digital anxiety. Gemini Nano attempts to solve this by looking at the content of every open page and suggesting logical groups. It can categorize your tabs by topic, such as travel planning, work projects, or news articles, all without you having to manually sort through them. There is also the enhanced history search. Instead of relying on exact keywords to find a page you visited last Tuesday, you can ask the browser a question in natural language. You could ask, "What was that website about blue hiking boots I saw last week?" And the local model will search through your indexed history to find the most relevant result. However, these features come at a significant cost that we must discuss. The 4 gigabyte size of the model is not just a storage issue, it is a system resources issue. In the world of computer hardware, there is no such thing as a free lunch. To run a model of this scale, your computer must dedicate a significant portion of its RAM and its central processing unit to keep the AI ready for action. For a high-end machine with 32 gigabytes of RAM and a modern processor, this might be a negligible impact. But for a student using a budget laptop or a professional using an older desktop with 8 gigabytes of RAM, a 4 gigabyte AI model is a massive burden. It is essentially a hidden tax on your hardware. When the browser is open, Gemini Nano is sitting in the background, consuming resources that could otherwise be used by your other applications. This can lead to slower performance, faster battery drain, and increased heat. What exactly can this model access? This is where the privacy discussion becomes very detailed. Gemini Nano has the capability to read the text on your current active page. This is necessary for it to provide summaries or writing assistance. It can see your drafts, your search queries, and the metadata of your browsing session. To some, this sounds like the ultimate surveillance tool. If a piece of software can see everything you do on the web, it has a complete map of your digital life. However, there is a technical shield in place that Google is very careful to highlight. Because the model is local, the raw text of your emails or the specific details of your medical searches do not necessarily need to leave your machine. The processing happens in a secure sandbox within the browser. The AI looks at the data, performs the task, and then provides the output. In theory, the actual content stays on your local hard drive. We must separate fear from reality when it comes to surveillance. There is a fundamental difference between a model that can read your screen and a model that reports that screen back to the mothership. Google's design for Gemini Nano is focused on the former. By keeping the intelligence on the edge, they are attempting to provide the benefits of artificial intelligence without the privacy nightmare of cloud processing. Yet the skepticism remains. Even if the data is not sent back today, the infrastructure for total visibility is now permanently installed on your machine. The door has been opened. Once the model is there and has permission to read your browser content, the only thing stopping Google from changing the data collection rules in the future is their own corporate policy. The silent nature of this installation is handled by a background process known as the component updater. This is a system within Chrome that most users never interact with. It is designed to keep the browser secure by downloading small patches and security updates while your computer is idle. By piggybacking on this system, Google was able to push the Gemini Nano model to millions of users without triggering a standard software update notification. It happens quietly in the background, usually when you are not actively using your computer. This stealthy approach was likely a deliberate strategic choice to avoid public scrutiny. To understand why Google chose this path, we only have to look at Microsoft. Not long ago, Microsoft announced a feature called Recall, which was designed to take constant screenshots of a user's desktop to create a searchable history. The backlash was immediate and intense. Privacy advocates and regular users alike were horrified by the idea of such invasive tracking. Microsoft was forced to delay the feature and rethink their entire strategy. Google, seeing this disaster unfold, likely decided that a quieter approach was better. Instead of a loud marketing campaign for a revolutionary new feature, they chose to silently lay the foundation. By making the AI a hidden part of the optimization guide on device model, they avoided the initial wave of public panic that stalled their rival. This is not a conspiracy, it is a sophisticated product strategy. Google is in a desperate race for dominance in the artificial intelligence era. They are no longer just competing with search engines like Bing. They are competing with a new generation of browsers like Brave and Arc that are built with different philosophies. By embedding a 4GB AI model so deeply into Chrome, Google is making their browser incredibly sticky. They want to offer features that are so integrated and so fast that users will find it difficult to switch to a competitor. If your browser understands your writing style and organizes your messy tabs, you are much less likely to leave for a simpler alternative. They are effectively claiming your desktop as their territory before the competition has a chance to establish a foothold. This strategy ensures that Google remains the central gatekeeper of your digital world, even as the way we browse the internet begins to change forever. But why now? Why has Google chosen this specific moment to fundamentally alter the nature of its browser? The answer lies in the slow death of a technology that defined the internet for decades, the third-party cookie. For years, advertising networks have relied on these small tracking files to follow users across the web, building detailed profiles for targeted ads. With growing privacy regulations and user backlash, Google itself is leading the charge to phase them out. This creates a problem for their 90% market share of the advertising industry. Without cookies, how can they maintain their grip on user data and ad revenue? Gemini Nano is the answer. It is a strategic pivot. By placing a powerful intelligence directly on the user's machine, Google can analyze browsing habits and interests locally, creating user profiles without ever needing to send sensitive data across the web for tracking. It is a way to maintain their advertising empire in a post-cookie world. This move is also part of a much larger strategic pattern, a new Cold War for the digital desktop. Google is not acting in a vacuum. They are watching their rivals, Apple and Microsoft, make their own plays for local artificial intelligence dominance. Apple has built its entire brand on the promise of on-device processing and user privacy. Microsoft, despite its clumsy rollout of the recall feature, has clearly signaled its intention to integrate AI into every corner of the Windows operating system. Google cannot afford to be left behind. By embedding Gemini Nano into Chrome, they are planting their flag on billions of desktops and laptops around the world. They are claiming the browser, the most used application on most computers, as their own artificial intelligence territory. This is a preemptive strike designed to ensure that when users think of AI, they think of it through a Google lens, not an Apple or Microsoft one. The impact of this on the browser market cannot be overstated. For more than 20 years, a web browser was defined as a thin client. It was a lightweight piece of software, a simple window whose primary job was to render information stored on a distant server. With this 4 GB update, Google has single-handedly transformed Chrome into a heavy AI operating system. It is no longer just a window, it is a processing engine, a local brain that demands significant system resources. This fundamentally changes the competitive landscape. New, innovative browsers can no longer compete simply by being faster or more private. They must now contend with a world where the dominant browser comes with its own integrated intelligence, a feature that would cost a smaller company millions of dollars and years of development to replicate. So, as a user, what practical action can you take? You have a right to inspect what is running on your own hardware. The first step is to open Chrome and type into the address bar, chrome://components. That is CHROME://COMPONENTS. Press Enter. This page shows all the background modules that Chrome uses. Look for an entry named Optimization Guide on Device Model. If you see it, and it shows a size in the gigabytes, then Gemini Nano is on your system. The second location to check is Chrome://flags. This page contains experimental features. You can search for terms like on-device or optimization guide to see if there are switches that allow you to enable or disable related functions. However, a word of caution. Disabling these flags is not always a permanent solution. Google can, and likely will, re-enable these components or make them a core, non-removable part of the browser in future updates. This brings us to the future repercussions. We are at the dawn of an era where every major piece of software could come preloaded with its own local brain. Imagine if your music app, your photo editor, and your word processor each demand their own multi-gigabyte artificial intelligence model. The consequences for hardware longevity are significant. A computer that is perfectly capable today might be rendered slow and obsolete in 2 years, not because its hardware failed, but because it can no longer carry the weight of all these background AI processes. This will also have a major impact on internet data caps. These models will need constant large updates to stay current, consuming gigabytes of data each month without any direct action from the user. We are creating a future where our devices are perpetually working and consuming resources, often without our knowledge or explicit consent. From a persuader's perspective, the technology itself is not the primary issue. The ability to have a powerful, privacy-preserving AI on your own device is genuinely impressive and potentially very useful. The problem, and the dangerous precedent being set, is the method of delivery. Silently installing a 4-gigabyte piece of software, regardless of its purpose, is a fundamental breach of transparency and trust. It treats the user's personal property, their hard drive, and their system resources as an extension of Google's own server farm. By normalizing this behavior, we are heading down a path where users lose control over their own machines. If we accept this silent push from Google, we give every other software company in the world the green light to do the same. In the end, this entire situation boils down to a timeless trade-off between convenience and control. Google is betting that the average user will gladly trade a little bit of control for a little bit of convenience. They believe that features like smart tab organization and better search results are worth the 4-gigabyte price of admission, especially if the user never even knows they paid it. Are we okay with 4 gigabytes of stealth code if it makes our digital lives 10% easier? This is no longer a hypothetical question. It is a choice that has already been made for millions of us. The only question that remains is what we will do about it now that we know. The digital landscape is changing under our feet, often in ways that are deliberately hidden from view. Understanding these shifts is no longer optional. It is essential for every digital citizen. Subscribe to this channel because this is not just about a browser update. This changes what your browser is, and we will be here to track what it becomes next.